Scrapmore with Brenda. I'm Brenda, and we're here today with another episode of Blue Monday. Yay, Blue Monday. I love Blue Mondays. I am working through my scrap bin of blues because I am overwhelmed. So we're giving you patterns that are calling for dark, medium, and lights, and you can use whatever color you want, but I'm using up blue. And at the end of this, I'm going to make a charity quilt to give to the guilds so that they can, give it to whatever charity is needing, a quilt, right? So it's not a problem. So we're having a lot of fun with this one, and we're using up some pretty cool scraps that I've had kicking around. But first, let's get to our shout out. This one is called Frame 9 Patch. So this is a very simple, beginner-friendly one, and if you are just beginning and you want to sew along with me and you want to do this one would make a pretty cool quilt for you. So just to keep that in mind, if all you wanted to do was make one block in your entire quilt, you can do that too. So Paula Chamberlain from A Quilter's Life is a new channel, and I thought, oh yes, we've got to put her out here. I haven't been following her long. I found her, we're filming this in September, and that's when I found her. So I figured, okay, by the time we get this up onto the YouTube channel and load it up on the schedule, it's going to be a couple of months. So, but yes, she does not know this is coming. So please give her, if you go check her out, give her a thumbs up or hit that subscribe button if you like what you see, right? So I mean, and her YouTube channel as well as the cutting instructions for our blog today are going to all be in the show notes. It's so important you get into those show notes. The first thing we're going to talk about is the Facebook group. It's warm, it's welcoming, we have so much fun in there, and we do all the regular things Facebook groups do, like, share pictures and, ask for advice or whatever, ask questions. But we also have a lot of community chats. We do fabric exchanges by country, we do a virtual sewing room under Discord for the Facebook group members. It is so much fun. Those people are having a blast in there. And we do free patterns, we go search the internet to find out where free patterns are, and we post them all in there. And we encourage others, when you're finding something free, put it in there, so we have a really good resource now of a whole bunch of free patterns. We also have recipe exchanges. We're doing Saturday snippets. There's a few other things the admins now have come up with. It's just going to be so much more fun. So if you're into that kind of thing and you want to get part of a fun, welcoming community on Facebook, please join us. Please feel free to join us. We also, in the show notes, are going to post the Zoom sew dates. Now, I haven't looked at 2025 yet. I haven't put any dates in there, but it's from now until December. And when I do look at 2025, I will be putting those dates in as well. So if you can mark your dates on your calendar and you want to come join us, you certainly can. And if you don't feel like sewing that day and you want to bring in your knitting, please do. It's not a problem. It's a great place to come hang out. And we try and talk to everybody and find out what you're working on or what's inspiring you. And we just have a great time. And sometimes the conversation gets away on me and I don't get a word in, but it's all fun. It's all great. Now, share, like, and subscribe, please. If you can do that for us, that would help us out so much. And we can continue giving you all these fun, free patterns. Tell your friends, tell your guilds, tell whoever, any other quilter that you know. Just tell them about us. And commenting helps our analytics. Now, we know life is busy. And if all you got time to do is put a heart on that comment line, that would help us out so much. Thank you so much for that. Also, I speak for free to quilting guilds and quilting groups, and we have just such a great time there when we're talking. I'm always so inspired, and sometimes I get to stay for show and tell, which is really exciting. But I talk about making charity quilts, quilting and using up your fabric scraps, and elements of design. Now, it's a PowerPoint presentation over Zoom so that the guilds don't have to pay for travel and all the rest of this stuff, right? So that's kind of what I'm doing, giving back to the quilting community. Also, we are filming in September, but the Chaos Sew Along is coming, and that's going to be a really good scrap buster. We're making a queen size quilt. I'm not sure when we're going to start because we wanted to get through all the lessons first before we start putting a Chaos Sew Along together. Now, the unfinished size of the sub units are going to be 4.5 inches square or 4.5 by 8.5, right? So it's going to be a larger piecing, but it'll work. It'll work. So I think that's it. Excuse me. Come on in. Let's get to this sewing. Okay, we're at the sewing machine, and I'm gonna say I had, when we're doing this charity quilt, what happens is I ended up getting some please make some easier blocks, because I guess I have a few beginners trying to get this done. Now the stripes are all going the same way, so I'm going to try my best to put all the stripes the same direction as we're sewing, because I think that's important. It gives some stuff here going, you know, it makes the block look more cohesive. You can do this with any colors you want. Like I say, if you wanted to do all of the, you know, like reds and pinks and, you know, whatever, that's fine. The low volume is a stripe, and it came out of my light blues, right? So that's part of this, trying to use up as much fabric in there as I can. So now we just put this back on the board, and we see this. Now all of these blocks, you can make just one block out of and make a charity quilt if you want, or, you know, one for your mom or dad or whatever, you know, that, or your kids. That works as well, you know. The frame around also helps with, you don't have to match up seams, right? So, you know, with 9-patch blocks, usually there's no frame or sashing around it, and you now have to match up everything. And it's, you know, yeah, this just makes it a little easier for everybody. So here we go. We got almost our 9-patch all put together in one direction. So simple. And if you were using different colors, try and get 5 squares of one color. You know, it doesn't have to all be the same fabric, but it should be at least one color. And then it looks like, you know, this crisscross design comes out, you know. And, okay. So we're going to press to the dark. And I didn't even finger press this, right? I didn't finger press it because I don't need to. So I'm finger pressing to the dark. So this one goes to the dark and this one goes up. So that the center, oops, this thing flips over. Now this goes under and this one goes down. There we go. I'll show you what that back pressing looks like. Wait a second. There. Okay. So this is what the back of that looked like, right? So I'm pressing to the dark without actually finger pressing because I can. This is one of these blocks you can get away with where it's darks and lights and you can just, you know, finger press to the dark, right? I mean, that works. And okay, next up, okay, now I open because I want to see what I'm doing and I want to make sure I've got perfectly matched intersections. So I think 9 patches are fairly easy, but they look crisp when you take some time to get them all matched, you know, matched up the way you need them. Okay. There we go. Like this, get this under and match up my ends. There we go. And now we have a 9 patch. So there is our 9 patch, right? So now what you could do is you could, you know, you could sit there and open these up if you want, or you can just press, you know, press them to the dark. That works too. You know, it's up to you. Press this out and press this in. That works. That should work. I believe I made a cutting mistake, so I'm going to cut here because this is 10.5 and it should be 9.5. So I've cut these too small, these too thin and narrow, so I'm going to cut here and come back with the right size, and the cutting instructions in the show notes below will be corrected as well. Okay, we're back with the right size. This is 9.5 by 2.5 and, or 2.5, 9.5 by 2 and 12.5 by 2, right? So I don't know. I did it wrong. I'm so sorry, but they are correct now. So we're just gonna run these through and let's see, which way is this one going? It's going out. There we go. That happens, even to us, even to me. That happens. I cut something wrong, and I go, I know it's wrong, but I can't think of it why it would be. But everything looks right, so I keep going, and I'm like, oh man, that has happened a few times, and you know what? It probably will happen again. But at least I caught it, and you know, this way too, you know that everybody's allowed to make mistakes. People shouldn't be so hard on themselves, you know? You make mistakes and you learn from them. I mean, that's what living and creating art is all about, is you make mistakes and you learn from it. So, I'm okay with making my mistakes. And plus I had more of that really cute fabric. And I have a boat print now to go with this fabric. Okay, here we go. And we're just going to give that one a little more smooshing. I'm just going to put that one here and get rid of this big board because it's in my way. Okay, here we go. Yeah, I'm definitely going to have to give this one a good press when I'm done. Okay. And then like so. Now, this goes, yeah. Both of these. Just line up that at the end. Now, I'm going to lie them flat. Sometimes when you're sewing, if you flip your seam from the way it was going to be pressed, it'll create a twisted seam, right? So it's always a good idea to sew your seam down the way it's going to be pressed, even though it hasn't been pressed yet. And that way it helps that line a little flatter. There we go. Just press that over, away from the block. Yeah. Doing a frame block like this is always nice. Just gives it a little bit more, you know, pizzazz. Now I take and line up this edge. Now whichever one is bigger is on the bottom. And that goes out. There. Bigger on the bottom, bias on the bottom. That's the easiest way to remember all of this. And you let your sewing machine and your feed dogs do the work of easing them together. You know, that's kind of important for things. Okay, now I'm just going to give this a quick smush with my fingers, and I'm going to show you the back side so you get the cut, or the... Now this is the way this is going to be ironed, and I know some of it's a little... Oh, it doesn't look very flat, but it will be flat. It will be flat when I'm done. So that's how it's going to be pressed. And these just flip out away from the block. Now you could have put anything in this frame. It would have been okay. If you have a bunch of crumb blocks that you don't know what to do with and you want to throw those in to your charity quilt, and you just put a frame around it and it looks great. Okay, let me give this a good press and we'll get to our ta-da moment. Okay, here we are, our framed 9 patch. Isn't that cute? I mean, it is a beginner-friendly one, and, you know, like I did, you know, some spots. Well, basically, these look like polka dots at a distance, but they're not. They're little sailboats, and stripes, and a little graphic print around it. And I thought this would work okay. Now the cutting instructions are correct now. I did correct the cutting instructions so that it will turn out to a 12.5-inch unfinished block or 12-inch finished block. So this one works out really well. And I gotta say, give this one a try if you're a beginner. You can make an entire quilt of this just by keeping your, your pieces blue, let's say all blue. It can all be all different blues or all low volumes. It can all be all different low volumes too, right? And then your darks could be all different as well. So it would work with dark, medium, and light. So I do hope you give this one a try. It was lots of fun coming up with this one for you. And I hope you absolutely have a beautiful week ahead and life is treating you very gently. Okay, you guys, stay well and take care until we meet each other again. Okay, bye! Hello again. We just want to thank you for enjoying our video and, coming along with my husband and my YouTube adventure and quilting. And, sometimes things don't work out as best they should. And sometimes they work out great. We're going, wow, that went well. But it's been an amazing journey and I'm so glad I could share it with you. Share, like, and subscribe these videos. That really helps us out and it helps us make more charity quilts, okay? So you guys take care until we have a chance to meet again, okay? Bye!